Today it's signing day. Welcome back to another day in the life as a football agent. Welcome back, guys. Yes, I know the weather is not the best, but we have so many things to do today. We have two players coming to the office to sign their contract with our agency. It's also going to be shooting day because one of our videographers is coming to the office to do some content.
And all of this while I get some super valuable insight directly from our CEO, Brighten, with a special giveaway for the next Champions League final just for you.
You're going to be busy this weekend, yeah?
Yeah, busy weekend.
Champions League?
Well, we've got obviously a lot of the legends coming over,
yeah.
Working with UEFA, the sponsors. Obviously it's a big game for us. We have a big Madrid heart running through the business, so a lot of the clients. So any time Real Madrid in the final, it's pretty special.
But first, breakfast.
Our case studies are our clients. You know, you look at the guys that were here today, you know, both of them since started working with us a couple of months ago, what we're working on is translating into the matches, translating into the results. And for me, that's
sometimes into goals as well, like you can actually see.
And for me, that's the biggest source of kind of personal gratification because it shows you're doing something right. Anyone can sign a piece of paper and say, hey, I can move you here or I can do this. For me, it's more about actually going, right, how are we gonna, help them to build a successful career.
A quick change at Green Park to get on the Jubilee line. Guys, I felt so bad. There was a lady very close to the track. She went to put her AirPods in and the AirPods just fell onto the track, lost forever. I think she stayed kind of like 30 seconds staring at the track, but what can you do? One of those days for her, I think. So we are going all the way to Dolly's Entourage offices. Yes, today is signing day. We have two very interesting players signing with us Entourage. But today I also would like to share a bit more about the process when you scout the players, when you do the negotiations. Nobody does this. And when I wasn't an agent 6-7 years ago, I was full of questions and I was so interested in how things are behind the scenes and I just couldn't get any answers. So now that I am doing it myself, I want to share as much as possible.
Meeting time, it's 11 AM. We received the artwork for Andre and Brandon. I'll show you. Announcement post, Andre, welcome, Andre Annous, welcome, Brandon Annous. What we're saying, quite good, yeah? I think we like it. I think we can approve those so we can have them on the TV. It's 11:01 and we have a meeting with foreign agent. We're trying to get the mandate for an Italian Serie A player that has potential market here in the UK in the Premier League.
Fine, thanks.
Very good, thanks for asking.
Good. Thank you for the time. We are based in London. We work with, a lot of clubs, a lot of agencies. So we had potentially a commercial opportunity with boots or socks for Nicola. And then I asked who was his agent, because here in the UK there might be interest. So he put us in contact with you guys because we always try to go the right way.
So we have friends that from Serbia and other countries that work in London, work in England. So it's only based on that. If they have something, they call us. We think about it, and how we decide if we're going to do a deal or transfer with them or not.
First of all, two signings today. Are you happy?
Very happy, very happy. It's not just about the players, because obviously the players are great, but I think it's also for me about the process and kind of the approach that we're trying to apply. Which for me is different to what there is in the market. I'm not saying it's better or worse, not criticising anyone, but ultimately our focus here is very much about development of the players and trying to see how we can add value and really help them kick on. Big steps for both of them. One's going for his first pro contract, the other one is starting as a scholarship at a top club. So it's nice to see the faith from them.
Right, guys, in terms of planning things, we have to get a videographer, one of our guys that sometimes helps me and helps us, because we want to shoot some content, we want to document the fact that we are signing these players and we want to make something different for them as well. We want to make a little bit of an announcement. So we have Francesco that's going to help us out and is going to do some filming and create some good content.
It's like I don't think football's different in that respect to any other walk of life. It's like setting up a new restaurant. You know, you set up a new restaurant the first day, it's unlikely you're going to be full and packed unless you're doing a huge amount of marketing and you have a famous chef. You know, you set up a family restaurant in South London or in, you know, anywhere in Italy, you're not going to be packed first day. You know, it takes time for people to, you know, come in, try the food, see if they like it, and they talk to their friends, their family, and then they want to come back again, and then you start to build a reputation. I think it's the same thing with us. You know, we've applied the skills that we've learned from managing talent in general now to football. And I think that a lot of people are seeing it as a breath of fresh air, not just about kind of, you know, we're going to do this for you, we're going to move you here, we're going to move you there. For me, it's much more about, you know, like I said, the development aspect and actually showing people what we're trying to achieve. That doesn't happen overnight. So it's natural that that's going to be a process that is going to take a bit of time to get the results. But I think ultimately our case studies are our clients. You know, you look at the guys that were here today, you know, both of them since started working with us a couple of months ago, what we're working on is translating into the matches, translating into the results. And for me, that's
sometimes into goals as well. Like you can actually.
And for me, that's the biggest source of kind of personal gratification because it shows you're doing something right. Yeah, anyone can sign a piece of paper and say, hey, I can move you here or I can do this. For me, it's more about actually going, right, how are we gonna help them to build a successful career?
Andre and Brandon, the two players that we are signing today. What type of players are they? Explain to the vlog, please.
Andre is a very dynamic player, can play anywhere in the front three, can play as a striker, can play as a wide player, loves to run in behind, is a player that can finish really well, player that has loads of potential as he's still a late developer. So I think the next year or two we're going to see Andre develop into a very interesting player.
What about Brandon?
Brandon's a bit older than his brother. Brandon plays more as a 10, but he can actually play as a wide player as well. Brandon is a big final third threat. He loves to come wide and then come inside in the final thirds to take his shots from distance. His runs off the ball are really good. He's full of energy. His 1v1s are really good. He's a very technical player. Before working with him, it's important to have the right picture in the head of how the player is and what the player might need from us, because it's one of the things that we do really well.
Guys, 5:40 just finished. A good chat with Paul, the CEO. Yeah, and now we head back home. And don't go away because we're gonna see some of the footage that Francesco shot. I'm gonna put it here so that once I get home.
For me, it's not always about the who, but one thing for me is it's about quality over quantity. And that doesn't just mean quality of player. It's quality of person, it's quality of the service that we can give to the players and to the families. And I think that the reality is that it's extremely hard to give a top level of service to, you know, 500 players if you don't have the resource to do that. You know, it's natural. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. I mean, going back to the restaurant analogy, you know, if you are used to making 50 covers a night and you do that really well, if suddenly the next day someone says, hey, Samuele, we want you to do 500 covers, the quality might drop because, you know, you don't have more staff, you know, the ingredients might not be as fresh and all these things. So I think for us, it's a real balance. I always say to players and their parents, they're not just interviewing us, but we're kind of interviewing them as well. And I don't mean that in a negative or in an arrogant way.
7 p.m. guys, and I'm arriving home. Let's see if Francesco sends us something tonight because we need to make the announcement. So I'll share the end result.
I agree, and I think that, you know, you get to that part where both sides are happy to commit. It's because we're both doing something right. So yeah, really happy for today, and you know, happy with how things are going.
Cool, you're busy, so I love the fact that we've got 2 minutes to sit down because you'll get people like, oh, don't do pictures, don't do videos, and to work with somebody that actually understands the potential of importance. A father reached out a few days ago. His son is in a Serie B club, and he saw what we're doing, and they want to have a chat with us now because of the videos, and to be working with somebody that, you know, is aligned like you, Mark, is aligned with this stuff.
I mean, for me, it's adding this. For me, it's how do you keep what's good about how the job was done historically, whilst embracing the future. We're living in a digital age now. When a lot of top agents were around, we didn't even have sometimes mobile phones or social media, you know. So things have changed, so it's important to evolve. Players look at things in a very different way. Obviously, things that are confidential, but ultimately there's no reason why we can't show people transparently what the process is and how we operate. I think it's a good thing because people get to see a little bit about how, like, you know, how we work.
But it's also underrated from FIFA. Agents follow the videos and they are looking for a job, and the message to them as well is also, it's not only where you're working, the brand, the name, how much money you get in, but it's also if you're enjoying, if you've got the freedom to do how you like to do it, and that to me is worth a lot more. The freedom of doing the things the way together in line with you and Mark, of course. Sometimes it's priceless. So
cool, man. Glad to hear it.
I wanted to highlight that.
Perfect. No, I appreciate that, and that's how we want to operate. You know, it's always been our methodology. You know, it's at the end of the day, we're in the people business, and ultimately people have got to be comfortable operating in a certain way. Otherwise, it doesn't work. You know, you can follow certain processes, certain procedures, and if someone doesn't fit within that box, it sometimes doesn't work. I mean, for us, you know, again, it's very much we're selling a personal relationship. Yes, a service in terms of deliverables and relationships and what we can do for someone, but it is also people, you know.
Absolutely. By the way, we'll let you go, but next year...
Thanks very much to the vlog fam. Look forward to catching up with you guys again soon when I have a bit more time and it's not Champions League final week.
See, he's a natural. Next year, if this gets quite a few views, next year we're going to do a giveaway on Champions League fight, a ticket or Champions League final or something.
Sounds like good. So how many views do we need to get to give a ticket away?
If in January we're like 30-40k, that's like a lot on YouTube. It's nothing on TikTok or Instagram, but YouTube family knows that it's a lot on YouTube. We'll give one Champions League final, something like that.
Perfect.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. You can have my ticket.